Hey guys. Oh, not too much. That's a bit too much light. It's better. So what's the deal with this amazing selling course? So the reason I'm asking about this is because I got an email from an affiliate of the Amazing Selling Course, or amazing.com or amazingsellingcourse.com or something like that. And this is a guy who sells books. Oh, you know him, but this is a guy who sells books, and is behind one of the software listing softwares for, well, not just for books, but for Amazon. And he does a lot of affiliate marketing. But anyway, he sent me an email, so I just clicked through. I've heard of this company before, Amazing Selling Machine. I've heard of them before, probably like last year or so, or maybe a couple years ago. And I think I watched maybe a couple videos about them. I don't know if I joined their little, mailing list or free program or whatnot, but I'm at least familiar with the name and generally, hello, how are you? Generally, yeah, Jamie says expensive. Yeah, I know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm familiar with. Hey Terry, I'm familiar. Hey Nathan. Wow, there's a lot of people. Great, awesome. Um, I'm in the storage unit, as you can tell. Uh, I'm familiar with the name and kind of vaguely what they're about. Um, but they have really expensive videos. What I mean is, they spend some time and thought into the videos. And I just watched. They have this like 6-part deal, so it's kind of like for free. You get to watch these 6 videos, and we'll give you. I mean, you give us your email and your name, and then we'll give you these free videos. And they even try to get your phone number to text you stuff, but I decided not to do that. But anyway, so far it's free, so I can talk about it. If I were to buy the program, then I wouldn't feel good about talking about the inner workings of it. But because it's free and anyone can get it, I guess it's okay to talk about it. Basically, it's just, yeah, I guess it's private label. I guess that's all it is. Is there? It's basically, I mean, they're trying to convince you that Amazon is the great place to sell you. I mean, to start a business. So we don't need that convincing because we're already doing that. But we're already to that point. We're already converted in terms of selling physical products on Amazon. It's just that we do books and CDs and all this other stuff. But they're basically talking about searching Amazon, finding a product. They have this criteria, this 5 criteria. Again, these are the free videos. The criteria is, so you actually go to the website, and the criteria is, oh wait, do I have it here? It might be in the car. Hold on a second. But there's this, you can basically go to the site and, let me see if I have it. Yeah, I do. I wrote it down. Jamie says, has been my goal since has been my goal since I started this crazy awesome business to launch several products, creating my brand. Yeah, why not, right? Why not diversify? So here they are. They say sales rank. Yeah, they say find products that are the top level sales rank. You know what that means, not subcategories. Is between 400 and 6,000. He didn't explain why they don't want it under 400, but basically these are the criteria. And the price of the product should be between $17 and $70. Oh, Nathan, are you doing private label? And then the reviews, there should be less than 1,000 reviews, and the weight should be under 5 pounds. And then you should be able to, number 5 is you should be able to brand the product. So, it can't be something that's, that, I don't know. There's already a trademark company. Oh, what others sell? Oh, what do you sell? Nathan, you're asking me what I sell or what Jamie sells? I'm not sure. And that's basically it. But then I guess they tell you after you find the products to do your research. Uh, oh, okay. Um, which is in the next video. Sorry, guys. The next video is how to find a manufacturer. Because essentially the idea is you find a product that's doing really well on Amazon, and then you find someone who can manufacture a similar product, create your own brand, your own name. I'm assuming create an LLC or whatever. Call it, widgets 123 or whatever it is, and then slap that logo on there, that name on there, and then have that manufacturer ship those into Amazon, I would assume. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about the Amazing Selling Machine course that I started watching. So there's these free videos you can watch, and I just got it through this guy who does some affiliate marketing, who also is behind one of the listing softwares, Amazon listing software. So anyway, so that's I guess what you do, and then you sort. I mean, they help you find manufacturers. I don't know, but from last time when they launched it, from what I understood, the course costs $4,000. So I don't know if it's going to cost the same this time, or if it's going to be less, or if they're going to offer installments, or I don't know. But I was just curious if any of you guys had ever done it, or if you know anybody who had ever done it. I thought I'd just kind of talk about the topic because it's good to be open about this stuff, because there are probably some courses that are, if they're not outright scams, they're just not very helpful. And I'm sure there's other courses in regards to private label. And of course, they offer all these, clips of people that have done really well with their course and sold tons of products and all that stuff. And I mean, it makes logical sense, right? Kind of the difficulty is finding the right product. And by right, it's got to be one that's actually going to sell, which is why they have all those criteria, I guess. And then finding someone who can actually manufacture it. And then you have to, of course, work out some price point with them that works. And you have to make an order and then put it on Amazon. Derek Lee's Lay's private label course. Did you actually implement it? Has it worked out? I'll look into Derek Lee or Lay, L-E. And, it's always good to keep your options open, I think. The good thing about selling books specifically, okay, is they're so inexpensive, right? And kind of the concept behind, from what I understand about private label is that you don't have to source a product. So basically, once you find a product that is proven to sell, I'm going to stand up because it's not comfortable, is proven to sell, then you just keep reordering with your manufacturer if there's a constant demand and people are buying, and you don't have to do much after that, I guess. And then the whole other concept is if you build up the brand, then you could potentially sell the brand to a larger company down the road, if you want to cash out kind of a deal. It's just really expensive to start a brand. Matt, somebody on YouTube, started his own private label course. Matt Loberstein. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys, for the info. Yeah, I figured it was expensive. I mean, that's what I've heard, that it's expensive and it takes some time. But it's just funny about these courses, and it's, I'm sure it's a perfectly legitimate course. The reason why it's expensive is because they kind of hold your hand along the way and help you out. And I'm sure you can call, or not, you can email me, call me, whatever. We'll help you out along the way if you have questions, this, that, and the other, which is a good deal. But you got to have money. So not only do you have to have money to, Terry says, Jordan Malik recommends proven Amazon course for private label for $400, does all the same things. Derek's course was $500. I got it at the time I got it. Yeah. So there's clearly other options. You guys know about it. Anyway, I just thought I'd put it out there. I mean, if it's going to cost thousands of dollars, I don't really feel that it's worth it for me because I'm, doing my own thing and it's going well. I mean, the downside to selling CDs or books or records or whatever is unless you have tons of copies of the same one, sure, no problem, Shane. Is You're going to have to continue to find more and more items and list more and more different items. If you found 100 copies of the same book, that's going to make you $20, or you can keep on getting more copies. And of course, that's way simpler than continuing to have to find all these different titles and everything. But that's just, that's the name of the game, and it's a lot easier to get in the door, even with the higher fees. Why not source from Walmart? Yeah, you can do that too. I mean, retail arbitrage. I like to do books and CDs. Books were really inexpensive, and I really like books, and I know about them. I like to read, so it's something that I like and know a little bit about. That's my whole thing about doing these private label things or retail arbitrage or online arbitrage for non-media, non-book CD records, etc. Non-media stuff it's just not as interesting to me. I don't really, they showed you in this video, one of the free videos, they showed you a soap dispenser and said, here's an example of a product that you could slap your brand on, and, potentially make a lot of money. And that's fine. You can do that if you really, if your main goal is to make a lot of money as soon as possible, you can go for it. You can spend the money, spend the time, effort, and energy to do it. And if it pays off, great. But I don't know if I'd want to sell a soap dispenser, even if I would make, tons of money doing it, and also have to spend a bunch of money to get to that point to make a ton of money. So, got to balance it between, is it just about the money or mostly about the money? Or is it, clearly you want to make money, but is it also I want to make money doing something or selling something that I know about or really enjoy selling? Like you should hopefully you like looking through lots of books and finding out, what do you call it? All the different titles, and if you're selling CDs or if you're selling records, hopefully it's something that you enjoy. It's not always, you can't always do something you enjoy, but when it comes to something like this, you might as well have more control over it and decide to pursue selling something on Amazon that you know about and or like or are into. When I first started, before I found out that you could actually make money selling books, reselling books on Amazon, I was introduced by a lady who I think is still around, has her own courses, her and her husband, about doing retail arbitrage and talking about going into, Walgreens and CVS and Ross and wherever, Walmart and Target, and looking for stuff on sale and reselling it on Amazon. And I tried it out. When I say try it out, I mean I shipped anything in, but I scanned some stuff and just wasn't really interested in all the random things. I don't know, just random stuff that you can find in retail stores. And then when I stumbled across, I don't know how I found it, if it was just recommended to me on YouTube, but I stumbled across books, some videos by a guy who was selling books, and I think he still is, but I think he's gotten into eBay more now. And he's the one who introduced me to this in 2014. And at that point, he was doing lots and lots of sales, doing lots and lots of book sales. He was making videos about sending in hundreds of books. This was way before split shipments, way before the two big FBA fee hikes. Oh, I think it's shoot. I think he lives in the East Coast, like Connecticut, and he's made a bunch of videos. I think he stopped making them, but he had like a beard. He was a younger guy, younger than me. He was in his late 20s when I was watching him. And then later on, he started making videos with his girlfriend. I don't remember the name of his channel. It was like something. Picker was in there or something. Kind of a tall guy. He would just make videos about all these book hauls. You know, he'd go to thrift stores, he'd go to book sales, and you know, he'd have tons and tons of books. I can't remember the name of his channel. I'll have to look it up. I can't look it up right now because I'm using the phone. I don't have my computer, but no, not him, not him. This guy was one of the first guys, I think, to really make videos on YouTube about reselling books. I don't know if he was the first, but he'd already had a bunch of videos when I found any of his videos. Yeah, that's it. Picking Profits. So anyway, he introduced it to me. And then from that, you know, I just did books for a while and then slowly got into other things like VHS tapes and then CDs and records. And so anyway, but yeah, I mean, I think if you want to go private label, then maybe there's some less expensive, just as detailed courses apparently. Yeah, Skip McGrath. I don't know who that is. Yeah, Michael. I think that he's. I haven't seen a video of his in a long time, but I think he moved more and more away from books because of the increase in fees and everything else with it, split shipments, and I think he is doing more eBay, but I don't know for sure. But he was, you know, he seemed to be a pretty open, honest guy about selling books, and this was, of course, when you could just send in everything and let it sit there for a long time before it sold, and there weren't very many expensive fees. I'm not familiar with selling clothing, so I don't know about return rates or anything like that. There was a lady that a young lady that I stumbled across on YouTube like probably a year or so ago who does clothing. She doesn't make any more videos on YouTube, but she has a really popular Instagram account. I can't remember her name. I think she lives in like Colorado. Yeah. And she does full-time. She quit her job and started doing full-time just clothes, and now, you know, I don't know if she says exactly how much she makes, but she sells a lot, makes a lot of sales on eBay doing clothing. So it depends, you know, but she knows about it. She likes that stuff. She's into it. Hi, George. Good. How are you? James says you just need a good garage for books. Yeah, you need space. I mean, if you're gonna do FBA, you don't need too much space because you can just ship it out. But if you're gonna do merchant fulfilled, you definitely need some space to deal with storing it. If you're gonna do eBay, you need space. That's for sure. Yeah. So that's why, you know, I think that's good. You know, that's why I like to make these videos, share with you guys what's going on. So that I can get feedback from you guys, learn from you guys. Hopefully you can learn from me and kind of keep it open. And so anyway, so some resellers have the Midas touch. The rest of us struggle day in and day out. Well, I guess so. I don't know if I have the Midas touch. Thank you, George. I appreciate it. I don't know if I have the Midas touch, but I've been keeping at it, consistent. But I will say that I wanted to make a video just about this, but maybe I will. I don't know. But the sales in September were much slower than they were in August. I had about 100 less sales in September on Amazon FBA than I did in August, and I don't know if it's going to pick up in October. I hope so, but it definitely slowed down. I still had 244 sales in September, and my ASP was higher because I had some larger book sales, some higher profit book sales. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I think, I mean, when it comes to reselling books, if you're doing it by yourself, if you've not got into bulk or you haven't hired sourcers or listers or anything like that, and it's all 100% you, it all has to do with volume and your average sale price and how quickly you can get through the whole process of sourcing, listing, shipping, and just rinse and repeat. if you can if you can ship in, 500 books a week, lower, let's say your average sale price is lower, right? 11, 12 bucks. But you're doing huge volume, you can make a lot of money. If you're only shipping in 100 books a week, but your average sale price is 35 bucks, then you don't have to sell as many, you don't have to source as many, but you might have to look longer to find them unless you found some really good sources. So yeah, it depends. I find, stuff all over the place when it comes to CDs and books. CDs are consistent in terms of, well, in general, out in the wild, but also when I buy Gaylords, I consistently find good ones that either sell really fast, take a little longer, have higher profits, kind of all the way, run the gamut. But yeah, I mean, sometimes it has to do with where you live. You have access to more, maybe you live near a lot of colleges, so you have access to more books that end up, school-related books that end up in the thrift stores or in, garage sales and estate sales. Well, maybe not estate sales, but garage sales, yard sales, end up in book sales, library book sales, end up in thrift stores. So yeah, it depends. There's a lot of factors. I mean, for sure, how much time you put into it. I mean, you can put a lot of time into it, but how efficient are you? So yeah, for sure. I'm getting a shipment. I changed it to Friday for some more Gaylords, and I'm just going through my last big piles here of CDs to organize them, because I spoke to somebody about the flea market that'll be on the 14th, which is in about 12 days, at the Rose Bowl, which is in Pasadena, which is one of the larger ones in Southern California, as far as I understand it. And I found out that I could get a spot for around $100 that would allow me to sell both books and CDs. It'd be a pretty big space. And they said that it was busy between like 9 and 3 p.m. So I don't know. It's a lot of work though, because I'm preparing as many of the CDs and books as I can if I'm going to do it. I'm going to need to buy the space probably tomorrow, because I've organized a lot of these CDs and I need to sell them. Doing eBay just takes so much longer unless I'm willing to get a lot less money for them. So if I do auctions on all of the CD lots, I'll make money, yes. Some I'll make more money than others, but I'll make a lot less than if I just do buy it now CD lots and wait around for the right person to come along willing to pay the money that I want. So anyway, yeah, I'll comment on those. So that's why I've been looking for a good way to move hopefully, a lot of CDs and books out of my life and make some money. How's the foot traffic at the spot you're talking about? You're talking about the flea market? I've never been to it, but from what I understand, it's really busy because it's only once a month, and it's really well known. It's been going on for a long time. Rose Bowl is kind of an iconic spot, and Pasadena is a very popular city, and it pulls people from all over. From what I understand, people come from pretty far to go to this flea market because I guess there's good stuff there. And so they charge people to enter, so it's anywhere like 8 to 12 bucks, I guess, depending on the time of the day, but around 10 bucks. So if somebody's, if somebody, I'll answer James in a second. If somebody is willing to pay 10 bucks per person, so if there's 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them, I mean, they're paying a lot of money just to walk in, just to have the privilege to walk through the flea market and look at stuff. Then if you're going to spend the 10 bucks, you're probably not going to go in there and not buy anything. You're probably going in with cash, expecting to spend money and probably spend a good amount. At least that's what I'm thinking. And anyway, so it's known as a really popular flea market. Michael said, last day of estate sales in affluent areas or gold mines to find high average sale price books. Great way to end the weekend if you need to source a bunch. Yeah, I live near a bunch of colleges and around a lot of retired people and people with money and well, I live around a lot of cities, but one of them in particular. And yeah, there's a lot of great estate sales. I've been to some and I found some good stuff for sure. I haven't been to many estate sales this year, but yeah, you can find some good stuff. James asked, how often do you get rid of slow moving inventory on Amazon? So I would recommend repricing every month because of, okay, so first of all, repricing. Well, okay, hold on. So here's I recommend that you give your inventory about 6 months to sell, because you know at the 6 month period point you're going to get hit with the 6 month long-term storage fee, which depending on how big the item is not that bad. It gets much worse. The fee gets much worse when you hit the 12-month period or time frame. But you really want to sell your stuff before 6 months, unless it's something that just takes longer to sell and is legitimately gonna bring some good money. I would say at least over 20 bucks. I mean, if you're talking about books, which are heavier than CDs and larger in general, probably a little more than that, 25, 30 bucks enough, I would say. For a CD, I'd want to have, feel comfortable that I'd get at least 20 bucks for it if I'm going to have it sit there longer than 6 months. But if you're approaching the 6 month period, then like you're getting, I would say by the 3 month, I mean, if you have a repricer, then you know you probably have it set to reprice however often you do, hourly, daily, whatever, weekly. But if you don't have a repricer like myself, I would recommend every month going back and repricing a lot of your stuff. You don't have to do all of it, but you can do it pretty quickly in Seller Central. Kind of go through and look at the lowest. It'll show you the sales rank, and you can see the lowest FBA price, and so you can see what your competition is. Sometimes you have to click through to look. Sometimes you can just match it or whatever you want to do, depending on how long it's been there. It'll show you how long your item's been there. So those are that's all the information you mostly need. And then, yeah, I wouldn't keep it there much longer than 6 months. Try to sell everything within 6 months, unless it's going to bring you a lot of money beyond 6 months. And if it's going to hit a year, I wouldn't let it hit a year. I'd basically have a lean and mean inventory, which is to say it doesn't have to be that big, but it should be selling through pretty well. Although I will say September was a lot slower with sales, so my sell-through rate was down. So it's going to happen. There's going to be slower months. I know for sure it'll pick up in November and be going like gangbusters in December and into January. January will be great with the combination of people still spending money after the holidays and still being in the festive mood and having extra money and having gift certificates, etc., and gift cards. And then, of course, it'll be going right into back to school. So if you have books in your inventory, especially school books, you should have that combination there of the holidays and the school, going back to school. So yeah, we'll see how October goes. But yeah, probably going to take off now, guys. But basically what I've been doing, so I organized, there goes my light. So all of this stuff here is all organized by artist and or group, musical group. These are all CDs. So it's alphabetical. My light's going to go off. And that way, as I get more CDs, I can organize them where they belong, so I know where things are if I want to sell them on eBay, or if I want to continue to do the flea market situation. And then over here, these over here are by genre. So I've got like R&B, Hawaiian, big band, opera. All of those three at the bottom are classical. I've got punk, electronic. I mean, look at all this: gospel, religious, jazz, kids stuff, alt rock, indie rock, classic rock, reggae. I mean, Spanish. A bunch of other stuff over here. So that's what I've been doing. As you can tell, this madness here, these piles have been sitting here for months because I had not gotten them organized, so I just couldn't go through them yet. But I wanted to continue to do send in for FBA. So this has been my way of trying to catch up because I mean the only other alternative is I just get rid of the CDs, or I try to get someone to just buy them off of me for next to nothing. And I didn't really want to do that. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Like I said, I'm gonna get a Gaylord, another delivery of 4 Gaylords on Friday, 2 CD, 2 books, and by then, so what is today? So I have 2 more full days of, well, not entire day, but 2 more full days of sorting through those. I probably will not finish those for certain, but I should get through some. I mean, I already almost took out a whole row here. Can't tell, but anyway, that's what I've been doing. And over here, I'm sorting them into their genres. So that's what I've been up to. If you guys don't have any other questions or comments, I'm going to end the video. But real quick, how did your sales go in September? If you guys could let me know in the comments, I mean right here. If you're not watching it live, let me know below. I'd be curious to know. Was your September slower than August? Was it really bad? Was it kind of bad? Like I said, I did 244 sales, and then my ASP was over $14, and that was because I had some higher book sales. I sent some stuff in that I got a couple of CDs too that sold for good money. James said slightly better. September was better than August. Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, if October is not better than September, well, it should be better because I just sent in 360 items into Amazon, and most of those will go live throughout this week. And my sales should get a jump because of all the new inventory hitting, but I'm gonna have to reprice a bunch of stuff to make sure that I continue selling through a lot of the other stuff. Terry said 102 sales, ASP low 30s, great ASP. Do you sell CDs by lots or batch on eBay and not individually? I do both, Michael. So I have like probably over 300 individual CDs for sale on eBay. And then as of now, I don't have that many CD lots, but I have maybe like a dozen or so. So I do both. What I was doing in the past was just doing auctions for my CD lots. And some of them I would start really low, like 99 cents. And then I started moving it up to like $1.50, $2. And then I tried a couple where I was much higher. Like I did a Beatles CD lot and I started it at $9.99. And it got some good bidding, but it didn't end up selling for as much as I was hoping for. It sold for $22 for 11 Beatles CDs, which was still about $2 a piece, but after all the fees, it's going to be a little bit less, maybe like $1.50, which is still good considering I get the CDs for like a nickel for how much I pay for all of them in the Gaylord. But that's a tough thing for me. Like so I'm sort of addicted to the whole like auction because I put them up there and within 7 days I can almost guaranteed I can sell them. It's rare that I don't sell a CD lot. Sometimes some of them just no one's interested and I sell it for 99 cents, $2, whatever, and that sucks, but at least I get rid of it. And then other ones I sell for much more, and it's a combination of making some money, and if I do a lot of it, it's a decent amount of money. So I could just tear through the CDs, well, as fast as I can go. I'm really impatient. That's the thing about it. The thing about Amazon is it's so out of my hair. I don't have to look at it. It's in their shelves, in their warehouses. And all I have to do is just pay attention to how many I'm selling a day, a month, and then go in and reprice. So it's not stressful at all, right? They have to deal with the space issue. But when I have, all my eBay stuff sitting in shelves on my garage or in some boxes, and it just sits there and sits there and sits there. The individual stuff I don't mind as much because I can put way more up, and there's some really good individual CDs that I sell on eBay for some good money. and those are fun to sell. And I don't mind if those take a long time because they're really small. So if I have 100 CDs going for, you know, over 10 bucks, 15 bucks, and some going for much more, I don't mind having them sit around because they don't take up much space. And it would be the same thing for books if I had some higher priced books for sale on eBay. But when it comes to the lots, I mean, before you know it, if you have 20 CD lots, and some have 5, some have 10, some have 8, some have 20, it takes up a lot of space. And so yeah, I kind of went on a rant there, but that's kind of where I am with that, which is why I'm interested in doing the flea market to try it out. I'm not a big fan of the physical exertion it requires, a flea market, in terms of loading up a truck, driving it there, unloading it, being there for 8 hours, and then reloading the truck, even if I sell a lot. So we'll see. But the good thing about the flea market is I could sell potentially the CDs higher per CD, and then I'll offer some higher priced ones that I was intending on selling on eBay that legitimately go for a lot more money, and try that out. But yeah, so when it comes to eBay CD lots, whether it's CD lots or book lots, I just hear a lot of people. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, guys. Am I back on? Sorry, I had a phone call. I gotta go. Forgot what I was talking about. So anyway, yeah, so I'm pretty impatient when it comes to that. So I'm kind of stuck between, do I just do auctions on eBay, or do I try out a flea market, and hopefully sell, you know, a decent amount. That's the thing. I mean, it's a big test because also I'm going to try to sell books. So if I can sell a decent amount and just get rid of a lot of them and make some money, it might be worth going once a month, in addition to doing some eBay, but we'll see. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I got to take off. And as always, keep booking, guys. I will talk to you later.